Can't I come to say goodbye?
Oh. You don't need to.
No. Because I want to.
The story revolves around Alfredo Salazar, a bachelor over 30, and two women, Esperanza, his fiancée, of 4 years, and a young girl, from out of town, named Julia Salas. Everyone takes it for granted that Alfredo will eventually marry Esperanza. But, although he is ashamed to admit it, the intensity of his passion for Esperanza has faded and he is attracted to Julia, whom he meets at Don Julian's house. It all started at Don Julian's house. When Carmen asked Don Julian about Alfredo and Esperanza. Then, Alfredo reminisced how he met Julia Salas. Papa. When will the long table be set?
I do not know yet. Alfredo is not very specific. But I understand. Esperanza wants it to be next month.
Why is he not a bit more decided? I wonder. He is over 30. Is he not? And still a bachelor. Esperanza must be tired waiting.
I suppose long-engaged people are like that. Warm now, cool tomorrow. I think they are oftener cool than warm. The very fact that an engagement has been allowed to prolong itself argues a certain placidity of temperament. Or of affection. On the part of either, or both. That phase you were speaking of is natural enough for a beginning. Besides, that, as I see it, was Alfredo's last race with escaping youth. A last spurt of hot blood.
6 weeks ago. That house meant nothing to Alfredo. That it was the Martinez house. Rented and occupied by Judge Del Valle and his family. 6 weeks ago. Julia Salas meant nothing to him. He did not even know her name. But now, one evening, Alfredo had gone neighboring with Don Julian. A young woman had met them at the door. Later, Don Julian informed him that she was not the judge's sister, as he had supposed, but his sister-in-law, and that her name was Julia Salas. Don Julian and his uncommunicative friend, the judge, were absorbed in a game of chess. The young man had tired of playing appreciative spectator and desultory conversationalist. So, he and Julia Salas had gone off to chat in the vine-covered porch. The lone piano in the neighborhood alternately tinkled and banged away as the players' moods altered.
Amusement?
No. Youth. It is spirit. And heart's desire. Down there. The road is too broad, too trodden. By feet, too barren, of mystery.
Mystery? That is so brief.
Not in some, not in you.
You have known me a few weeks. So, a mystery?
I could study you all my life. And still not find it.
Oh hi. Just checking if you really come home straight after Mass.
You surprised me, Esperanza. Of course I do.
Esperanza was not prone to indulge in unprovoked jealousies. She was a believer in the regenerative virtue of institutions, in their power to regulate feeling as well as conduct. If a man were married, why? Of course, he loved his wife. If he were engaged, he could not possibly love another woman. Just before Holy Week, Don Julian invited the judge and his family to spend Sunday afternoon at Tanda, where he had a coconut plantation and a house on the beach. After the merienda, Don Julian sauntered off with the judge to show him what a thriving young coconut looked like, while the children were convoyed by Julia Salas. Alfredo left his perch on the bamboo ladder of the house and followed. When he came up, she flushed, then smiled with frank pleasure.
I hope you are enjoying this.
Very much. It looks like home to me. Except that we do not have such lovely beach. The afternoon has seemed very short, hasn't it? Then, this I think, is the last time we can visit.
The last? Why? Oh. You will be too busy perhaps.
I am going home. The end of an impossible dream.
When?
Tomorrow. I received a letter from father and mother yesterday. They want me to spend Holy Week at home. That is why I said, this is the last time.
Can't I come to say goodbye?
Oh. You don't need to.
No. Because I want to.
Goodbye.
Wait.
Congratulations to both of you, Mr. and Mrs. Salazar. I should have congratulated you before.
For what?
Of course. For our wedding.
Will you come?
If you will invite me to, then I will.
Then, I ask you.
Then I will. Let us go now. The wedding happened. Despite that, Alfredo had suffered, as he could not remember ever having suffered before. What people will say. What will they not say? What don't they say? When long engagements are broken. Almost, on the eve of the wedding. Years passed. He was not unhappy in his marriage. He felt no rebellion. Only the calm of capitulation to what he recognized as irresistible forces of circumstance and of character. His life had simply ordered itself, no more struggles, no more stirring up of emotions that got a man nowhere. From his capacity of complete detachment, he derived a strange solace. The essential himself that had its being in the core of his thought, would, he reflected, always be free and alone. When claims encroached, Too insistently, as sometimes they did, he retreated into the inner fastness, and from that vantage, he saw things and people around him, as remote and alien, as incidents that did not matter. At such times, did Esperanza feel baffled and helpless. He was gentle, even tender, but immeasurably far away, beyond her reach. 8 years passed. They meet again. Alfredo and Julia Salas. He is aware that all his loved ones, including Julia, would disapprove of his failure to honor his understanding with Esperanza. So, he and Esperanza get married and have a family. Then, 8 years later, he goes on a business trip to the town where Julia, still unmarried, lives. He goes to visit Julia, whom he has never forgotten. But he is surprised to find out that he no longer feels attracted to her. He compares the memory of his love for her to a dead star, whose glow is still visible from the earth for years, even after they are gone.